We enter now the 8th day of the murder trial for Lindsay Clancy, the Duxbury mother accused of killing her 3 children.
Today, the stand belonged to a childhood friend of Lindsay, describing Clancy's thoughts leading up to the death. Western Mass News correspondent Sarah Conji reports from the courthouse.
She was pretty a calm person.
A childhood friend of Lindsay Clancy taking the stand, describing what she talked about in the months leading to the killing of her 3 children.
She had shared that she had been taking a medication that caused her to have some dark thoughts, but that she was going to, or had been tapering off that medication and was trialing new ones.
Clancy is accused of strangling her 3 children in the basement of their Duxbury home in January of 2023. Her defense argues she suffered postpartum psychosis. The prosecution questioning several of Lindsay's friends who testified they were aware of some issues, but that she was acting normally.
Did she ever tell you that she was hearing voices?
No. It had sounded like she had been able to connect with some providers, and I would say at that point, I remember her expressing feeling hopeful about the possibility that things could start to get better.
The children's grandfather also testified about Lindsay on Christmas morning, 1 month before the children's deaths.
How was Lindsay's demeanor that day?
It was good. She looked beautiful. She had a beautiful dress on.
And do you recall saying previously she seemed very happy that day?
Yes, she did.